Okay, guys. I think that you can hear me now. Can you please raise your hand if you can hear me well? Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome today to the Reee's Wi-Fi system Reyee tools webinar. Let's give like 5 minutes for people that maybe is waiting to join the webinar. So let's wait for them. Okay, guys. Let's begin with our webinar. Today's webinar. We're going to talk about all the AI tools that come with the Reyee Wi-Fi system that are really interesting that can help us to uh, see how the roaming is being made in the background. Tools in order to help to troubleshooting the issues that maybe we can have. So let's begin. Okay, first, I will ask you kindly that if you can download our Reyee and Reyee application. This is located on Google Play and App Store. You can download it. It's called Reyee, and this is really nice because you are going to see all the products that we have there, battle cards. Even if you scan this QR code, it's going to give you like a demo project. So it's going to be really nice because here in my home I have like a lab set up with a lot of equipment, switches, access point, gateways, but there you're going to have them virtually. So you can test all the same features even if you don't have the equipment physically there over there. So yes, I invite you to allow the application and scan this QR code. So I will give you like a couple of minutes to do this, and then we can fully start the webinar. So you can follow up all the procedures with me. As soon as you register your application, your account there, you are going to be able to scan this QR code in order to have the demo project. And remember that you need to double check or confirm your account on your emails inbox. This is going to be valid for the next 30 days. So please don't forget to do this, because if you don't do it, the account is going to be disabled, and we don't want that, right? So yes, basically what we want is to have this the application installed over there in order to check the products and the cool features that we are developing as the days go by. So okay, let's begin. We're going to talk today about the AI roaming. Just give me a second here. Okay, so what is Wi-Fi roaming? This is a concept that is really widely known since, let's say, 2 or 3 or 4 decades ago in the 90s. Was made on the, or it was used, or is used on the telecommunication infrastructure. And basically, we use it every day when we talk on our cell phones, right? If we were traveling from one destination, from one location to another, or maybe if we were going inside a bus, or maybe the train, or taking a taxi, or just traveling to one city to another, Wi-Fi roaming is in process, is acting in the background. Why? Because we are having like a long conversations with somebody, and the signal covered, well, not the signal coverage, the signal is not going to be loose, the conversation, because it runs from one station or radio S to another. So yeah, basically that our concept was translated to the, or was transported or being implemented in the Wi-Fi. And the definition is that the Wi-Fi roaming allows a device to seamlessly connect to a Wi-Fi network while moving between different access points, and it's not going to lose the original IP address, right? So in this way, you're going to keep to be connected to the access points, to the network, and the communication is going to flow seamlessly. You don't have to do anything in the background in order to make this process happen, right? So the advantages of the Wi-Fi roaming is basically that it's useful on environments with multiple access points, such as large buildings or expensive areas. So let's say that maybe we have like a huge storage, and we have like a pallet and infrastructure, and we have a lot of stock over there. But one single access point is not going to be able to provide all the coverage over there. So we install a lot of access points over there. So we can create like a swarm of, or cluster, basically. Even you can deploy like a mesh network over there in this scenario, but it doesn't matter if you have 1, 2, 5, or I don't know, a large number of access points. You're going to be able to transmit data over the network without losing any packet, right? So what this does is that ensures a continuous and stable connection during the movement. Uh, the process is carried out seamlessly for the user. So like I said before, the user doesn't have to do anything in the background. It doesn't need to go into the configuration of the cell phone or the device, let's say a computer at a table, and enable parameters or configure anything else, because this is going to be made automatically by the access point. And basically, this relies on the interoperability standards defined by the IEEE A02.11K, A02.11R, and A02.11B. So these are the standards, are really defined, well defined in the internet. So if you want to take a look, let's go for it. On Google, you can Google out for so much information how these protocols and standards works in the background. So the Wi-Fi roaming process is something that is well defined as well. So basically, the steps that are involved in the background are the following ones. As you can see here in the backbone in this area, like I was mentioning before, let's say that this is an industry that is, or a factory that is that builds or makes a lot of items and goods. So as you are seeing here, this is the supervisor that is checking, I don't know, maybe the process of the factory. And we have like a couple of access points here that are connected by a physical backbone. So this allows to the network to be established and transfer the communication between these two access points. But we are seeing these leaf machines, and we are seeing a lot of pallets, right, of merchandise. Even we have like a robot here that maybe um, it's doing it's made in something. So the process is the following one. If you have your device there, your table, your phone, your computer, uh, basically there is like an access point detection because the roaming is being made by the phone, it's by the device itself. There is like an access point detection. Then comes the roaming decision that is purely based on parameters that the device is analyzing. Let's say signal, noise, etc. So the device is the one that takes the decision to run between one access point into another. So as soon as this, let's say, this guy is walking by or crossing or traversing the area and saying that it's getting out of the ring one and it's getting into the ring two, that is the other space, the device is going to be able automatically to switch or swap from one access point to access point A to the access point B. So this is that we used to call, or we call it, association with the new access point. Uh, there, what occurs in the back end is that it's going to do a smooth transition of the connection, so the packets are not going to be loose, the connection is going to be established and keep it over there. And then after the connection is being swapped from the access point A to the access point B, it's going to happen like a process that we call the update of the MAC address table. So yeah, let's say that there is like this MAC address table association from the access point A to the device originally. This table needs to be, not on the table, just this record needs to be cleared out. And then the MAC address is going to be created, the record of the MAC address of the device that is roaming is going to be created in the new access point, in the access point B. So in that way, the access points in the cluster of the SWAN are going to know where to redirect or forward or send the packets that are going to go to a destination to this device that just roam from the ring one to the ring two. So after that, network parameter reconfiguration occurs if it's necessary. Let's say that maybe, I don't know, the gateway or something like that is going to happen because this parameter needs to be updated. Remember that we have two classes of roaming, the layer 2 roaming and the layer 3 roaming. In some cases where there are huge areas or huge networks, in order to establish the communication or to maintain all the clients alive, you need to change the IP address segment. But this is only if it's necessary. And then what happens next is there will be like a roaming notification. Let's say maybe this mostly for managed environments. So if they are working on a cluster or an environment like we call a swarm or something like that, there is going to be a notification across all the access points. So the rest of the access point knows where to locate this device that has just run from the access point A to the access point B. And after that, there is going to be like a connection optimization. Maybe some parameters talking about radio frequencies are going to be adjusted because maybe this access point is covering like a huge area, and the radio or the dBIs of the power transmission is going to be like higher than this one. So the device itself can adjust some parameters in order to optimize the connection. And then this is the Wi-Fi roaming process. I have here, like I mentioned before, I have a lab set up in my home. I'm working from home, so I live in a tiny apartment. And there is like an application, a part of the application that can help us in the Reyee app in order to determine that if the Wi-Fi roaming is working correctly. So I'm going to show that from my application here on my iPad. in order to do this, I had to set up like an special parameters on the configuration, because since I live in a tiny apartment, in order to do the roaming, it will be like a really hard, because this equipment has like a good transmission power. So I have to tune up before like the power transmission and some thresholds in order to perform this process. But once this is set up, we can check here on the Reyee application. This is my project. Just give me a second in order to maximize this. Okay, this is the project that I have here, the lab. So I have like this easy gateway that is giving me the connection to internet, and I have the easy switch that is providing the connection, the access connection to access points, and I have a couple of access points here. This one with the serial number A17 and the other one with 775. So in order to check if they are working correctly with the AI roaming to do this proof of concept, I can exit here and go into this toolkit that we have in our application. And as you can see here, we have a model that is called AR roaming test. So if we click here, it says that we can perform an AR roaming test, or we can do a roaming test in the traditional web. Since we are going to use augmented reality, that is something that is really common and is implemented in the majority of the devices or the mobile devices nowadays, we're going to use this AR roaming test. So he's asking me if all the access points that are being used in this network belongs to Reyee, and that is correct. I have, like as we saw before, where I have like a couple of RIPs 2260. So we click here, yes. It gives you like the possibility to test with a floor plan. I don't have a floor plan of my apartment today, but the purpose of this proof of concept is to do it without a floor plan. Once we set up these parameters that you don't need to set it up really, because like I said before, I just live in a small area, in a small space. So I have to adapt the parameters in order to perform the test, but this is going to be made automatically by these devices. You can use the wireless intelligent optimization. That is another cool feature that we have here. And then you don't need to optimize those parameters. You can deploy your mesh, your cluster network, and a factory, and a storage, and an office, and a hotel, and it's going to work for you. So as you can see here, it's using the augmented reality. Like I mentioned before, this is the access, the lab that I have here. I have my easy gateway, my easy switch over here, and I have a couple of these. This one is the first one, and as if you are seeing here, I have like a minus 39, 38, 40 dBm. That is like a good parameter for the signal. And this is the access point serial number A17 that we saw before. As soon as I start walking over my apartment and going far from the connection, from the access point, it's detecting me that the milliseconds that I'm seeing here, the device is the signal is augmenting. But as you can see here, as soon as I go over the other access point, it just established the roaming. It detected that there was like a roaming transition, and this is really cool because it's working, right? It's saying that I recovered like a good signal transmission, and it says that I'm connected right now to the other access point that the serial number is ended in 775. And as we see here, I don't know if you can see it over there, the serial number is the correct 775. So the transition was being smooth. As you can see here on the application, it says that I have a 3 millisecond of latency, a negotiation rate of 304 megabits, and the latest signal was from the RSSI parameter or KPI. It transitioned from minus 69, that was the latest lecture reading, to minus 50 dBm. So yes, this is working. As you can see here, the time consumed was 23 milliseconds, so it's really fast. And there was like a one packet that was lost. If you optimize your network or you configure your network in a correct way, you can achieve no packet loss without this transition. So let's go back to to the lab that I have for. I'm going to close the doors. Sorry, before we go into here, there's something that I forgot to show you, and it's that you can use this button to mark, and you can put here, let's say, point 2 or marker 2, mark 2, and it's going to create a mark for you in this map, because we don't have like a test floor, but it's going to mark it over here. So if we go, and as you notice, it just put like an augmented reality sign just to see, hey, this is your roaming point on your factory in your map. So if we go back to destination and I close the door, I'm going to see that the DVM signal augmented. And as soon as we traverse the rune over here, it's just do the station has run, so it just do the station smoothly. There was packet loss 0, so this is working, and I can put another mark over here just to say that this is the mark number 1 where I start the way or the process in order to check the roaming process. So yeah, basically it's working. As soon as we click exit here, I can see a report. It is generating a report here, and it's saying, okay, we have a roaming count of 2. As you can see here is the map of all the way that we traversed today in my apartment. There was like a 3 packets that were lost, 1 during roaming. This is showing also the average RSSI, the average latency. There is also doing the calculation of the packet loss rate in percentage, and there is going me, and then it is saying to me the average regularization rate of 429 megabits. There are 2 access points involved, as you can see here, the serial number 817 and the other one 775. And as you can see here, this is showing me all the KPIs that were analyzed during the roaming. Let's say the RSSI before roaming, after roaming, the time consumes, and the packet loss. And it's also showing you a cool graph that you can traverse, or just going out with your finger in the application in order to see how was the behavior during the roaming. So yeah, this is something that is really cool for this application in tiny switches, in tiny access points, mostly for office, hotel, villas, and small environments. And also, like I mentioned before, the parameters that I had used before in order to do this test in a tiny environment, you don't need to do anything like that. It's going to be done automatically. And we have another cool features like the wireless optimization, like I mentioned before. That is something that it will, if I click here, optimize now, is going to analyze all the parameters or all the signal in the spectrum here in my home, saying, okay, I have this level of noise, I have the other access point transmitting in the same frequency or the same band, maybe the next neighbor. So it's going to analyze all these parameters, and it's going to deliver an optimized configuration to the access point. So that is something really cool. If you have like a 100 access point, you don't want to go over there in the configuration and do it manually, just going one by one, saying, okay, this is the channel that maybe is going to be better for this access point located in this spot. But if I move to the second floor, I'm going to analyze again the spectrum and change the access point channels or the bandwidth or the channel width, sorry, to another, let's say, level or number, because it's going to be it's going to be done by the wireless intelligent optimization model that we have here for you automatically. So yes, basically that is the proof of concept that we have today for the AR roaming. Something really cool that we have now in the market. And yes, for today, really easy. You have one code, and the last, I can show you the product family of Reyee devices that we have here. Uh, Even we have like all of them are cloud managed switches. You can onboard it on the application with the QR code or the serial number that you can manage through the application, via the application, no matter where you are. You can be traveling to another country, another city, and you're going to have fully control of your network, your remote network. But basically, we have talking about access point that we're talking today. We have like a cool line of indoor access points, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and even Wi-Fi 7. That is something that is going to be released soon. We have wall access points that can provide PoE capabilities as well. And this is really convenient for small offices or let's say rooms in hotels. We have wireless bridge from 1 kilometer to 5 kilometers. There is another new other line that is of motors that is going to come soon. I think that the next month or this access point, this new wireless bridges, sorry, are going to be able to transmit over 15 kilometers. You can establish point-to-point and point-to-point multi-connections. And we have our line of outdoor access point based on Wi-Fi 6 and Wi-Fi 7 as well, the new ones that have not been shown on this slide because they are going to be released soon. But basically, these outdoor access point, they come with IP68. They are tested on hard environments, and they also, some of these access points can also be connected through fiber cable, so that allows you to extend an access point a really far distance and just transmit the connection over there. And this is something that you can do via wireless. But talking about the limitation of the Ethernet cable, 100 meters, we have overpassed or bypassed this limitation using fiber cable. So some of these models of this access point, even the indoor, can have or can come with these two options of connections, let's say, right? The fiber cable and the Ethernet cable. And we also have like routers that comes with security features derived from firewalls as well. They can manage up to 2,000 users. All of them can be managed through the cloud. And we have like a cool series of home Wi-Fi network devices, mesh devices, routers for gaming, basic routers for wireless internet service provider, etc. So yeah, this is all the products or the portfolio that we have. We are innovating every day. Our R&D department is innovating every day and just pushing out new models with new features. All of them uh, can be managed through a cloud via the application or the web application. This is something really nice because let's say that you can manage a tiny switch with PoE capabilities through the cloud. That is something that is not really common on the market with, let's say, with another vendors. And that's all, guys. If you maybe were downloading the application and just doing the registering process, you can still scan the QR code in order to check the demo project that comes with it. And let's give 5 minutes in order to respond some questions. Remember that you can put it on the question box, and we'll be more than glad to answer to you guys. Okay, guys, I don't see any question from you. So let's wrap it up. Thank you very much for assisting today to this webinar. I hope that this been useful today to you, all the features and the AI roaming and the wireless intelligent optimization model that we saw today. And if you have any questions or you need like maybe an assessment or some kind of consulting services in order to deploy a project, or you want to know more about these features, or let's say another feature that we can um, provide with the Reyee and Reyee switches. My name is Vladimir Ortega, and I'm leaving here my email, my corporate email is vladimir.ortega@appcom.net. Um, this webinar is going to be published in our EPCOM channel. So if you want to check again and see once again what we saw today, or do this practice at home, don't be afraid, go over there. It's going to be published today, I guess. But thank you very much. I really appreciate the time and the space that you give me today in order to present this webinar and this information. Okay, thank you very much. Bye. Have a nice day.